41 Action News starts right now.
Right now, firefighters in their 12th hour battling a large grass fire in Platte County, and their work is paying off. Now that fire under control. We have live team coverage. 41 Action News reporter Tom Dempsey talked with crews who fought the fire. Tom.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. Things are finally back to normal here in Platte County. The convenience store is back open. It's the one you see behind me here. This is the same one that was evacuated earlier today because of that fire. Plus, all the firefighters are back home after what was truly a long and dangerous day. Tonight, 1,300 acres of land are burned following this fire. A fire that spread quickly because of the wind.
The wind was just terrible today. I mean, you would hit it, and next thing you know, it'd flame right up behind you again.
Close to 100 firefighters battled the blaze in dangerous conditions.
With the wind, the way it was blowing, really, it was at times really hard to breathe.
The fire led to an evacuation of the Wood Oil Company convenience store.
We could see a lot of flames. We seen some deer running for cover.
And left some homeowners very concerned.
A deputy sheriff showed up at the door and told us about the fire and that it'd be a possibility that we would have to move out.
A fire that put Harry Schimmel's home in jeopardy.
You worry about losing your house, worry about losing everything in it.
It took about 8 hours to contain the flames. Teamwork and dedication kept people safe.
I'm not sure how many departments are out here, but a lot of help, and we needed it, and we appreciate it.
Now, one of the most important things we want to mention, too, is that no injuries were reported in this fire. Fire crews say, though, that they are still monitoring some embers that are out there, and they'll be keeping an eye on them overnight to make sure the fire does not start again overnight. Reporting live in Platte County, Tom Dempsey, 41 Action News.
Tom, thanks. That fire burned at least 1,300 acres in Platte County. Let me show you where. Just across the Missouri River from Leavenworth, the fire really concentrated near 92 Highway, all the way south to 45 Spur. It also at one point spread east near Beverly, Missouri. That fire destroyed at least 2 to 3 buildings. Around 75 firefighters battling the flames all afternoon, and many remain on that scene tonight. And while firefighters fought the Platte County fire, video from the ground shows this incredible image of fire NATO. Now, these are formed when the heat from the wildfires cause the air to quickly rise. And firefighters in Excelsior Springs put out a small grass fire today. It started this afternoon near 69 Highway, and as you can see here from this photo, the fire scorched an area just off the highway. Also tonight, a large grass fire in Lynn County under control. It started early this afternoon near Centerville, Kansas. That's about 90 minutes or so south of Kansas City. Well, the gusty winds, the dry conditions did not help firefighters. In fact, it impacted how they fought this fire. Chief Meteorologist Gary Lezak showing us just how these strong winds impacted the fire and what we can expect overnight, Gary.
Yeah, we had 50-mile-per-hour winds earlier. Fortunately, they're not that strong now, but they're still up there. And there's a chance in the next 2 or 3 hours, we're going to go all the way back up to near 50-mile-per-hour winds. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the last few minutes in Olathe, Lawrence, KCI, 39-mile-per-hour wind gusts downtown, and Lee Summit, 38 miles per hour. Wind gusts. And yes, we tied a record high today. It was 74 degrees set back in 1930 and today in 2016. Here's the setup right now. 66 degrees in Kansas City, 68 in Topeka. The temperatures are not going down, so they're staying stable. We'll go over the details on how warm it'll get tomorrow and if the wind will continue tomorrow here in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thanks. Our coverage does not stop right here. To read the 5 things to know about the fire weather warnings, just download the free 41 Action News app right now. To a developing story now, a Missouri woman now behind bars accused of making threats associated with ISIS. Prosecutors say Safa Yassin of Buffalo used a Twitter account to threaten 2 FBI agents. They say she posted the names, addresses, phone numbers of those agents under the words, quote, wanted to kill. That Twitter account is associated with the terror group ISIS. In a town taking action, residents upset with their mayor now making moves to get him out of office. Only here on 41 Action News, Dia Walsh shows us why many DeSoto residents want to recall the man they elected. Dia.
Yeah, Mike, quite a few of the people that I talked to here in DeSoto tonight say that Mayor Tim Manier has allowed things to just get out of control. So today they filed not 1, but 2 recall petitions, one for him and another for Councilman Bill McDaniel. Minutes into the DeSoto City Council meeting, there was a mention.
I was asked to carry a recall petition I chose not to.
He's not part of it, but Judy Macy is leading the group who is.
There is a process to get rid of elected officials that are not doing their job, and we took advantage of that process today.
They submitted recall petitions to the Johnson County Election Board.
Oh, they did? Okay. Am I on the list?
Tonight, Mayor Tim Manier and Councilman Bill McDaniel found out they are named.
Okay.
We don't like to do this kind of thing, but you have to step up and do something. You can't let them go unchecked.
The petitions cite a lack of control by the mayor and misconduct by McDaniel.
You're spreading it out. That is not what we said at all.
This video is from council meetings dating back to August 2015.
The conduct is ridiculous. I mean, it's embarrassing to all of us.
People here unanimously say how much they love DeSoto. Some enough to demand a change.
Really, they have gotten away with it way too long. It's time for them to step down and to let this city get back on track.
I was elected by the majority and that voted, and I'll stay as long as I'm wanted.
The Johnson County Election Board should let them know if those petition applications are accepted sometime next week. People here tell me if the recalls do happen, it'll be the first time that a mayor and council person have been recalled in the city. Reporting live in DeSoto, Dia Wall, 41 Action News.
Dia, thank you. A Missouri lawmaker may take on Mizzou's former football coach. State Senator Paul Whelan is considering filing a complaint against Gary Pinkel. Whelan says his constituents believe Pinkel's support of the players' November boycott was extortion. The team refused to practice amid the racial unrest on campus. Pinkel resigned last year to focus on his battle with cancer. Also new tonight, an already registered sex offender now headed to prison for the rest of his life for repeatedly abusing a young girl. Today, a court sentenced Charles Burge to 135 years behind bars. Over a 4-year period, Burge created a series of child porn images while abusing a young girl. And it was a sad night for family and friends of a murdered Raytown teenager. This afternoon, they held a memorial for 15-year-old Jair Strong. He was shot and killed Monday just east of 40 Highway and I-70. Police have made one arrest, but so far prosecutors have not yet filed any charges. And tonight, firefighters trying to figure out exactly what sparked a fire that killed a St. Joseph woman. This 77-year-old died when her house caught fire this morning. That blaze destroying the house. 2 others were inside. They lived there. They weren't home at the time of that fire, though. And a St. Joseph police officer now on leave after he appeared in a controversial rap video. Officer Zachary Kraft appeared in the racially charged video wearing a police uniform and holding a sign reading "Cop Lives Matter." The Kansas City rapper says he regrets getting the officer in trouble.
I try to paint cops in a really good light in that video, and although the message is very controversial, you know, cops are going through a lot right now.
A spokesperson says the officer violated the department's social media policies. And a new lawsuit aiming to bring the streetcar project to a screeching stop. The bus drivers union sued the city today. They claim the drivers would be negatively impacted by the hiring of streetcar workers. We have reached out to the city for the response, but have not heard back. Well, new support for Senator Marco Rubio in the presidential race. Today, Kansas Senator Pat Roberts endorsed the Florida senator. Earlier this week, Kansas Governor Sam Brownback also endorsed Rubio. And tonight, Democratic and Republican candidates for president taking questions straight from the voters. They took part in a couple of town halls just days before crucial primaries and caucuses. On the Republican side, one of the top topics was the feud between Donald Trump and the Pope. The Pope said anyone who wants to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border isn't Christian.
I think that he heard one side of the story, which is probably by the Mexican government. He didn't see the tremendous strain that, the border is causing us with respect to illegal immigration.
I'm informed by my faith, and he is an inspirational leader of my church. But I don't question people's Christianity. I think that's a relationship they have with their Lord and Savior and themselves.
We have a right to build a wall, but I got to tell you, there are too many walls between us. We need bridges between us if we're going to fix the problems in Washington.
Senators Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, as well as Ben Carson, took that same stage last night. Meanwhile, the Democrats taking questions from Nevada voters, and like the Republicans, they debated immigration. Senator Bernie Sanders says he wants to end the fear for the 11 million undocumented people living in the U.S., but a voter quickly fired back.
When you get there, how long would it take to change those policies? Because I've been waiting 6 years, 6 years out of my life.
Well, I can't, we will use our executive office and power as much as we can. Hopefully, we'll have the cooperation of the United States Congress.
Political issue. Moments later, when discussing the same subject, Hillary Clinton took a shot at Donald Trump and his stance on immigration.
I was the first person to call out Donald Trump. I said, basta, enough of this prejudice and paranoia and the kind of language
The next contests for both sides are Saturday. A tight race is expected for Democrats in the Nevada caucus. Meanwhile, polls show that Donald Trump with a big lead ahead of the South Carolina primary. Tomorrow, the World Series champion Royals will hold their first workout of spring training. Wow, it's already here. Pitchers and catchers reported to surprise Arizona today. And they did it with the news that the team has extended the contracts of general manager Dayton Moore and manager Ned Yost. We will have a report from Arizona coming up in about 15 minutes in sports. A chopper suddenly crashes, the quick actions from witnesses that likely saved lives. After a shooting, police quickly act, but when an officer opens fire, the rules change.
It serves the purpose of the police. It does not serve the purpose of justice.
The special privileges given to police when they shoot a suspect.
A warm and windy Thursday night. I'm thinking ahead. What about Friday and Saturday? We've got that coming up next.
A dramatic video showing a helicopter crash in the waters of Pearl Harbor. Wow, a civilian chopper went down this morning with 5 people on board. Witnesses jumping in that water to help pull some of the victims to shore. A 16-year-old is in critical condition. No word yet what caused that crash. On metro streets, when someone fires a weapon, police act fast. They rush to interview witnesses, victims, and suspects. But if an officer pulls the trigger, the rules are different. National investigative correspondent Ross Jones looks at police who have the right to remain silent.
For most of his life, mental illness was the biggest terror Bobby Bennett ever fought. But on a day in November 2013, in a cul-de-sac at the end of a quiet Dallas street, Bennett faced terror of a different kind.
He was having a psychotic episode.
Bennett was screaming, armed with a small knife. When police arrived, they found Bennett outside. Seconds later, police say he attacked, raising the knife above his head and lunging towards the officers. One officer opened fire, hitting Bennett in the stomach. He was rushed to the hospital, charged with assaulting an officer. He would stay in police custody for days until a neighbor's surveillance camera proved he shouldn't be. It shows that Bennett never approached the officers. Instead, he stood still, his arms at his side, before he was shot. The officer who pulled the trigger was criminally charged. His partner, who gave a false statement, was suspended. Bennett survived his injuries.
You would think the police response would be, let's make sure officers are trained properly, or let's look again at the policy on dealing with the mentally ill.
But instead, Dallas's police chief came up with a new policy that said officers involved in a shooting should be afforded 3 days before having to answer a single question. It even gave them a chance to watch any video of the shooting before making their statement.
You're concerned about whether they're going to be truthful or whether they're getting their story straight.
And Dallas is not alone. A Scripps News investigation reveals that 19 of the nation's 50 largest police departments call for some kind of waiting period, either for a criminal investigation or an internal probe looking into whether an officer followed policy. In most cities, the waiting period is 2 or 3 days. That's the rule in Albuquerque, where 19 officers surrounded and later killed a homeless man camping in the mountains holding a knife. The officers responsible weren't interviewed until 2 days later. They've since been charged with murder. But in other departments, the wait can be much longer. In Baltimore, where 25-year-old Freddie Gray died in police custody, officers there and throughout the state of Maryland are afforded 10 days before having to answer a single question. None of the waiting periods apply to civilians. Advocates for the police-only waiting period cite studies showing memories can improve after a night's rest. Frederick Frazier is vice president of the Dallas Police Association.
We want to give him a chance to make the accurate statement, give the best information he can of exactly what happened.
But many other memory experts say it's not that simple.
There is some very good science with other people coming along and using that science badly.
Dr. Darren Strange is an associate professor at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
When you're in the middle of an investigation, we absolutely know that the best thing as far as memory is concerned is to get those details as soon as possible.
Today, it's been more than 2 years since Bobby Bennett was shot. He sued the city of Dallas, settling his case for $1.6 million. While his attorney is happy Bennett received justice, he says the community would be better served if the police were treated like everyone else.
It serves the purpose of the police. It does not serve the purpose of justice.
Last month, a special committee in Maryland voted to cut the state's 10-day waiting period down to 5 days. It now moves to the full legislature for consideration. For Scripps News in Washington, I'm Ross Jones.
In Kansas City, if they choose, officers are given 48 hours for both criminal and administrative investigations. To learn more about how officers are defending this practice, just download the 41 Action News app right now.
Now, with Kansas City's most accurate forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Lezak.
Good Thursday evening, everyone. We did it. We set a record today, or tied a record set back in 1930, 74 degrees. It hit 74 degrees today as well, so put down 2016. What a day. We had a windstorm. We had fires in the area, wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. And now the wind continues. It's not 50 miles per hour, but it's about 40 mile per hour wind gusts as we look at Lawrence from our American Century Investments Skyview system. Still maybe a little smoke in the sky from fires in Kansas and Oklahoma today. And it's very windy as we look at our One Park Place luxury shot downtown. And over the plaza, there's the Intercontinental and Raphael Hotel and the plaza. And it is a windy night. Wind gusting to 40 miles per hour right now. And on February the 18th, 66 degrees. I believe the coldest high, the warmest low temperature, if I can get this right, tomorrow morning is 54. So we're going to set a record high low tomorrow morning. 66 degrees. It might be 60 when you wake up tomorrow morning in February. These are the wind gusts, 40 mile per hour wind gusts, a little bit lighter off to the south and east, not as windy in Clinton in Henry County with 23 mile per hour wind gusts. Look at the warm air, not just in Kansas City, but from Texas all the way to Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska, 62 degrees, a little bit colder back in Grand Island. Kirksville hasn't been in on the party yet, 45 degrees there, but the warmer air will get to Kirksville tomorrow. South winds tonight. This is what we call a U. See the shape in the isobars? Jeff Penner named this to me about 20 years ago. It's a U, okay? And then when that comes across, it usually warms up at night and it gets windy. This trough is going to swing right through us, and by tomorrow at about noon, it'll be all the way past Chicago. The wind will continue 20 to 25 miles per hour tomorrow at times, gusting to 35 miles per hour, so still a high fire danger for a while, but then the wind should taper off near 70 degrees. On Saturday, a few clouds may increase, the humidity will increase, and a shower or thunderstorm is possible south and east of Kansas City. The chance here is low. Our forecast high of 71. It hit 74. We got within 3 degrees. And La Davis from Greenwood, Missouri, you are in the running for the $500 gift card from Price Chopper we'll give away at the end of this month. All right, here's our 7-day forecast. Any changes? Tomorrow, really good Friday night in the big town. Saturday, wow, I think a lot of people have tee times out of the golf courses. 71, not much wind, and just a slight chance of rain in the evening. I'll leave it out for now. 58 Sunday, not bad. So we have a great winter weekend coming our way. 43 Monday, 49 Tuesday, just a slight chance of showers Tuesday. No big storm systems showing up. What does Sunny the weather dog do on a Thursday afternoon in the wind? She finds another dog to play tug of war with out at the dog park. I didn't get to go there, but apparently she got recognized by some people out there.
Oh, well, of course. She's a celebrity out there. Yeah.
Sunny the weather dog.
Of course. I would expect nothing less. So that spring feel in the air for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
It's as warm here as it is in Phoenix, Arizona. It's crazy, man. The Royals pitchers and catchers in surprise. We've got your spring training report next on 41 Action News at 10.
My man Vince Vaughn is here with us in L.A. for a game of Boston Live. Plus we have Ryan Seacrest and music from Dad and Company. Do not change the channel.
Good evening, everyone. Royals pitchers and catchers are in surprise, and so is our D. Jackson.
The quest for another world title starts tomorrow when the Royals hit the practice field. The pitchers and catchers reporting today, and they will actually hit the practice field for the first time tomorrow. But the thing you have to really worry about is complacency. These guys were living high off the hog. They've been celebrities, superstars in the offseason, but will they be hungry in 2016?
We don't have that problem. These guys aren't complacent. If you spend a little bit of time with anybody on this club, you'll find out real quick that complacency is not an issue. These guys know they have a chance to make history, and they want to take advantage of it.
So what's going to happen from here? Ned Yost will be whispering in their ear just how important it is for these guys to get back to playing in November. In Surprise, D. Jackson, 41 Action News.
And Ryan Marshall introduces us to a young athlete out of the Northeast in Northeast High School who's just getting better and better.
This week's Ivy 41 5-star Athletes of the Week is Northeast senior basketball standout Landon Johnson. He averaged just under 28 points per game in 3 contests last week. But Landon's a humble young man, and when we asked him how he did it, he gave all of the credit to his teammates.
I really got some of the easy buckets that I got, for real, is because of the guards that we have and they trusted me to score the basketball.
In order for him to be successful going to college, it's going to take just more than just playground basketball. And he has displayed not only taking it from the playground now to actually a system and being able to advance his skill.
Coach Williams says Landon is a great teammate and has great character. Not only that, he also says he's special on the court. And
we only going to go as far as Landon take us. First, going deep in the playoffs and winning any game is all the way it's going to be up to Landon and how far he take us first for scoring, showing leadership, rebounding.
My skill set got better. I got actually bought into the defense and everything. We're down jumping on the floor, all types of stuff like that.
That actually shows his dedication on and off the floor, dedication to the program. He has really worked hard to deserve this, and I do agree. This is a big celebration for Landon, but this also is a celebration for our team as well, and for our community, and for our school as well.
On behalf of Hy-Vee and Action 41 News, we present Landon Johnson with the Hy-Vee Athlete of the Week Award. Congratulations, Landon.
Congratulations to Landon. It's always a fun thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. You want to talk about the Royals, though. Very exciting spring training starts tomorrow. How significant is it that the Royals were able to lock down the contracts of Ned Yost and Dayton Moore for just the psyche of this team moving forward?
Yeah, it was funny because last year, Ned said, I'm not sure I want to go any further after next season when their contract's going to run out. But I guess he and Dayton got together. They've got a good core group of players. Most of their contracts are done in 2 years after 17 seasons, so maybe they figure we'll go through 18, try to regroup a little bit and see where we are at that point. So it's going to be interesting.
Seems like the foundation is built. Now they just got to
ready to go. They got to win again.
Got to build a house.
That's tough to do.
Gary's back with another look at Kansas City's most accurate forecast next. All right, Gary Lezak.
Let's look at our 7-day forecast. It's going to be right around 70 Friday and Saturday, which means tomorrow morning, listen to Sports Radio 810 at 7:50 a.m. We may be celebrating. Tweet Jake Gutierrez. Tell the guys we'll be celebrating tomorrow morning.
Why is that?
Celebrating what?
Celebrating Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. Hey, that's good. A Friday and a nice Friday, too.
Yeah,
so
it's Friday.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the nice weather tomorrow. Hope to see you back in the morning at 4:30. We'll return tomorrow night. Good night.